Live. Hello. Live.
Hello.
Hello. Live.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, perfect.
Hello.
So I have already a problem with the audio. Mm. Uh, Basically, I have a lot of echo from you. Do you have also the audio of the laptop? Uh, Let me check if this is better. Mm. Hello?
Hello. Bill, we're trying to sort out, Bill, we're trying to sort out,
the audio.
Bill, we're trying to sort out, the audio.
Around? How is that? No, I can still feel the echo. It's unbelievable, this thing. I don't have my. Okay.
Hola.
Okay. There is still. I'm wondering why. Yeah. Is there any... try to talk? Wait. Yes, there is no echo anymore. And Hola. Wait, I will enable you in 1 second. Try to speak.
Hola.
Better. Now there should be a bit of echo because I don't have this, but sorry for the problem. Now it's perfect.
Yay! We're back.
We are back. Okay, we wanted to speak about your new adventure, right?
Exactly.
So, can you please introduce your adventure?
So basically, during the past year and a half, I got myself into this journey of like self growth or personal development, trying to find ways of like achieving a higher well-being and how to be healthy in more areas of my life. I did go through like depression for like a year, and obviously that left plenty of lessons that I would like to share with others that might be feeling that they are going through difficult times. And overall now, during the situation that we're globally going through, I thought it would be a perfect moment to start like sharing these lessons and the informational the things that I've learned through books, experience, or just myself trying to find different ways of like I say processes. It would be a different way of saying on how to overcome my adversity, the one that I was going through.
So it was mostly based on your experience.
Mostly my experience, and as well I did a lot of, obviously when you are in that dark place, you need some kind of like support in order to go out of that. And I found myself supporting motivational speeches in like so many other professionals that are currently talking about these things, and they're supporting others on how to like overcome themselves, like change their lives if they feel that they are not happy with the current situation they're living. So books and like speakers, professionals were my go-to when I was in the dark place, basically.
Okay, so you mean that your sources were mostly other speech that you were following? There were other sources from which you were learning?
Yeah.
Like?
Books, as I said.
Yeah, books. So, did
Books,
you...
I really enjoy to listen to audiobooks, podcasts, and
podcast.
in YouTube at the moment as well. Like I think you have a lot of different, really good quality content that can be applicable for many different situations. Like the same type of rules or message to people is trying to promote. It can be either applicable to your work life, your emotional life, or your family situation. So I just started listening or reading like as much as I could from very diverse sources. And obviously I believe you shouldn't take what just one person says because it's just one experience. So when you hear from so many others, when you read about psychology, neurology, or neuropsychology, that is where you can understand how your brain works and why do we react as we react. And then you can relate that knowledge from the books with all the people experience. And then you are like, oh, right, this is what I was going through it. This is what I should have done. So as you might know, life loves to put us like tests and likes to check if we've learned the lesson. So you will constantly facing adversity and situations where you potentially have gone through those things in the past. But when you have gathered all that knowledge and understanding, when you're facing the same issue for the second time, obviously your attitude and your response is going to be different. And through in the moment while you are taking a different approach because you change, you are learning and you are observing yourself how you're reacting different to those things. And I think that's one of the most important things, because when you can realize how much you have changed and how much you have grown personally, it motivates you to go even further. You're like, well, if I manage to change this side of myself that before was giving me so many problems or was making me feel not as happy with myself, what more I can do. So I guess that was the thing for me. And even now I feel like I'm still learning a lot. I continue growing. Like you never achieve that final step, because the more that you grow, the different things you're going to face. Like every time difficulties are going to be harder and harder, and you just have to come up with different ways of overcoming the obstacles. But the thing to have into consideration is, like, when you have already that knowledge or that understanding, it feels easier to decide, or to be conscious at least, or to make those decisions, or to face those problems consciously, it makes sense. That for example, we are not able to see something as clear. You just go with your impulses, with your emotions, which it can end up end up being like not as positive for you personally, the outcome, when you react with your emotions and impulsively.
Okay, so before starting with all the topic that you have touched in this introduction and in the first post, a couple of other questions about the blog itself.
Yeah.
One is how often you will write on it?
So far I'm looking into doing once a week. I'll be touching different themes. Like it's going to be a variety. I will try to share some tools and processes, and at the same time, sometimes like motivational messages, or maybe just some of them will be just sharing some personal stories and see if people can find some benefit on that. So initially it will be every Wednesday.
Okay.
So we will try to do it once a week. Tomorrow we're going to release a new one, yes.
Okay. Another question that is not really about the content, we will go to the content later.
Yeah.
How difficult was to create a blog? Especially because you didn't really have a technical background.
No, I'm sorry. I would say that I'm like a mess with technology to start with. So it took me a little bit of time to get my head around how like the web design works, even though it was very intuitive and very easy. But I guess like at the end it was just, it doesn't matter how it looks like. I need to get it out, because it was like, it doesn't matter how. I will work on the formatting and I will work on the design later. I was like, I'm sure as soon as like I have one post, I'm going to be more motivated to get another one. So I will learn. I did felt like the web design at first was holding me back from doing any kind of like publication. But as soon as I had my first one, I was like, oh, now it's super easy to design this web and to reorganize. So yes. And just last point to say, like I have it in like Spanish and in English, in both languages.
Yes, because your mother tongue is.
Yes, Spanish.
So the other question is, why you decided for a blog?
Well, At first, I would say that it could be a really good way for me to start on understanding first the content I want to share with people, see the responses, what people are interested on, or even if you like, for example, any kind of like public for these type of things. Because maybe I think, right, maybe other people can benefit from this information, but actually at the end it's like a no. So I would like to see how people react to this, and if it's positive, I might be exploring to do different different ways, like for example YouTube or any other
But
portals.
did you try it before with something like more relating your friendship, like Facebook or something like more social, before going to the public?
No, I have to say that, to be honest, my friends come to me every time like they have an issue, they want to talk about something that is like personal, or they are struggling with a situation, independently, as I said, work, life, whatever. And a lot of people always said to me, "Oh my God, you should like try to share this because like what you say, it sounds very like it makes a lot of sense and actually could help." So I consider it, and after like so many people said to me, I was like, well, why not? And I just directly started with my blog. I didn't do anything different in like Facebook or Instagram. I decided straight away to start writing. Why not? Let's go with the big one at first.
But are you planning to write something more like complete, like?
So I've started a book, but obviously it's a process. Hasn't been finished. But obviously, a lot of the content that I'll be sharing on this blog is coming from the book that I'm writing at the moment as well.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start by considering what you have written. So we will go through the different part of your first post. And then if you want to come here where you have written the others, you are welcome, of course. So the very first blog, the very first post, I of course read it in English because I cannot really read Spanish. I tried, and it was quite okay, but then I was not sure about some parts, so it's fine.
It's all right.
Yeah. Can we go through it also in this video so that I can explain the question better?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you were starting with this very bold, very big part, saying there is nothing more beautiful and liberating than living a life where the decision we make come from the heart. A life where you are loyal to who you really are and what you feel, based on your values and the essence of your being. That was the introduction. Big, bold, like underlined. So now my question were mostly related to the target of this message. Why? Because I'm expecting that you are like describing different aspects that you have already faced in your life during the next posts. But this one was probably a bit an introduction, a bit generic. The problem is it may or may not be okay for someone, and it may be completely wrong for someone else. So again, the question is, who is targeting this specific post?
So I guess anyone that has an open mind. I do understand that we all see things different, and obviously we perceive our lives and our reality based on the experience that each individual has lived throughout their lives. And that would shape, as I say later, our experiences or interaction with others, and even the decisions we make. So I do understand that what I say here cannot be applicable to everybody, and that I will say as well, sometimes it depends of like how much struggle you had in life and how much you've grown at this point in life as well. I just literally wanted to show with my post that even though if you are in a situation in your life where you cannot see more, you cannot see forward, you cannot see what else is waiting for you behind that door, because you are the one that is closing those doors. I want to show that there is something beautiful that you cannot see. There are loads more opportunities that you might not be able to understand at the moment because of all the things that, as I say later, are holding you back.
Yeah.
So,
So sorry, we will speak about this discussion about holding back later, but
yeah.
I think that the question, my first question was mostly like there are of course people that are not in the position to live based on what they are thinking about, so what they would prefer, what their essence is. Let's assume, I don't know, people that are really depressed because I don't know, they cannot do the sport that they want, they cannot do so those people may want to reach a goal, but they have some kind of obstacle that is not just inside themselves, and those are not targeted by this post.
Obviously, I cannot target everybody's experience. As I said in my introduction and in my description about my blog, this is based on my experience, and hopefully it will be applicable for as many people as possible. But independently of the situation, I'll say I think like your point of view is still very limiting. For me, even having like a health condition or like a disability is still not holding you back for having the life you want to have, because it's like you still can do 1,000 things, and just having that thought that you have a limitation, that you have a condition, is the first thing that's going to stop you to doing all the things. How many examples we have of people that has been extremely successful, that have made an impact, that have made a difference in our world, that have loads of disabilities. Like there are thousands of examples. So what I wanted to start the post was, well, I like to give the like the example as I had when I was jumping through the plane that I was doing skydiving, is like, how do we feel? How do we get ourselves and our minds and our thoughts and our fears? How do you make us feel like, oh my gosh, like when I was sat at the edge of the plane and I was ready to jump, like we were going to jump, I was like, I felt I was going to die. I was like, it feels not natural to do. It shouldn't be jumping. Like, why on earth did I take the decision of jumping from a plane?
Why?
Like, I was like, why?
And then
like,
it would be
what
nice
I was
to know.
thinking. Exactly. But then when we jumped, it was one of the greatest experiences I ever had in my life. So from then, I have been using that exact experience for everything that I'm going through in life. And it's like when I'm starting to feel that anxiety, when I start to feel like things get heavy, or when I can see like I'm having like a storm of thoughts that are not healthy for me, because obviously we all go through these. It doesn't matter what stage you are. We all have these type of thoughts and we have to constantly fight them. But what I'm trying to say with my first paragraph is like, as soon as you jump, like the things that you can experience, the things that you can see, the life that you could achieve if you leave all those back behind, it's like infinite. Like you are the only one that put the limits to the life that you want to have. But while you're carrying those bags, that won't happen because you're limiting yourself. You're heavy. You won't be able to go forward as much. That's why I wanted to reflect with the first. It's like the why you should do all of this, because that can be your end result if you learn the art of letting go those things.
Okay. And which kind of approach would you suggest to people that instead they can do what they think it would be beneficial for them, but they don't have the strength?
So I guess it's like you cannot start from big things. You have to start very slowly. And one of the things that I would say to start with is try to meditate and to start to listen to your body. Most of the times, like we know that we can feel that something is wrong, or we can see that, for example, imagine, let's put a situation where you are in a relationship, where you're in a job, that your body's telling you, like, you should change this job. You just leave this person because it's like, it's not making you happy. It's not making up your life experience that it should be. But it's like, we have this type of mindset doesn't let us recognize whether we should take that change, because our brain is set in a way that, like, the less that you change, the more that you're stable, less risk that you take, the better it is. So your brain is going to try to tell you those things. But in reality, it's like you are missing so many opportunities to be truly happy. So if you, for example, you start by listening to your body, listen, what is your body telling you? It's like, are you experience like some tightness in your chest? For example, you're going to start observing, like, for example, you don't feel like you want to wake up, or you have this type of thought that is like, oh my gosh, if I could just be off today and do not go to work. But that type of thought, if repeated, is like, start taking a look to that. It's like, why are you feeling that way? You can make small steps to change something. Can it be like your attitude towards work is not the right one? Therefore, you are not giving your maximal potential work, and therefore all the repercussion and the things that get back to you obviously are going to be the same vibration that you are giving outside of you. So yes, just to make a long short story, as you say normally, I would say I would recommend people to start listening to their bodies and try to observe what they think, how they feel, and start like breaking it down in small steps. And what can you do just to feel better today? And take one day at a time. And just once you feel confident with each of the steps you've taken, instead of taking bigger steps that will take you to a better to feel better and achieve a higher well-being.
Okay. So, second part of your post was speaking about. So I read it because people listening may not be aware of it.
That's true.
We work. I continue from where I left. We work through our lives trying to make others happy, our family, friends, at work, with the intention of fitting in to society standards. We create this idea in our minds that this is what's expected from us, and what this version of ourselves will make us more acceptable and therefore happier. We persist on carrying with us the souvenir of past experience and beliefs that limit our potential. But as you may have figured by now, this is not the real secret of a happy ever after. To have a fulfilled life, we have to learn the art of letting go and living in the present moment. Understand that the things we are holding to transform the reality in which we live, shape our emotions, perceptions, impressions, and even our opportunities. Can you please explain better this art of letting go?
So you mean the first three paragraphs that you just mentioned?
Just the last part, when you are saying to have a fulfilled life, we have to learn the art of letting go and live in the present moment, understand the thing we are holding to transform the reality in which we live, shape our emotions,
Yeah.
etc.
So I think like I base this part as well in like so many friends' experiences and things I have tried to talk to them, help them through. And I don't know if like you have experienced yourself or seen with people you have around, uh, they put themselves like a mask. It's like I am myself. I put this kind of like uniform. I dress this way, so I go out there and I give the impression that this is me because society will accept me better. It's like otherwise I have not friends. I won't have my promotions at work, or for example, I had like in the case of family, sometimes affects like religion or like the culture of the country. It can really affect us and like how do we behave, the people that we choose to hang out with, or even our partner. So if you would obviously you have always the option. You can pick to live a life to make others happy. So where, as I said, the decisions that you're taking is to make your family happy, picking someone that is in the same relationship, someone that is in the, it has a financial status that your family is looking for, someone that has the qualifications or whatever they are looking for, for you. Maybe you just another example can be, well, every time you go out you take drugs because all your friends is what they do and you want to be part of the group and you want to fit in, so why not, I would take all the drugs that they offer me. At work, for example, it's just like pretending that you are one way and doing your work and performing in trying not to stand out of what everybody does, because obviously if you want to be successful you should be the same as everyone else. What I'm trying to do is like, what if that version of yourself that you're holding back, that you're not being at work, is the one that has your creativity, is the one that is going to make you stand out of the crowd, the one that is going to make you be successful in a shorter time, because individuals that have the skills that you do are not often seen, or maybe they are just wasting their time as you have been doing until now, just trying to fit in and be like everybody else. When this world one needs is more like diversity, different people that can bring different things, that can provide different point of view, different perspective. What more likable than someone that feels comfortable in their own skin? Like that is just beautiful. And it's like you are going to feel like you're in the top of the moon. You're going to feel like you can do anything. You're going to feel happier. Like, what's the problem if you go out with friends and imagine just drinking? You feel fine. You're in a Thursday. You don't want to have a drink, but you do want to hang out with your friends. But you have like a meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you don't feel like it. It's just about putting yourself first. What benefits yourself? It's about making decisions that benefit you first. And then everything will come out. You have to understand that, well, this is my point of view, just to clarify. I would say, yes, that we are
I'm
energy.
understanding.
And just clarify. And like, everything that happens outside of you is a reflection of yourself. So if you have a great energy, if you feel good, if you're happy, others are going to perceive that, and people get attracted to that positivity, to that level of energy, and you're going to be more accepted because you are the one that is first accepting yourself, and that is super important, and that makes a difference. Like even myself, obviously I have ups and downs. When I'm in this kind of like lower energy, I can see like how sometimes I walk in the street or even like some friends, they don't talk to me much, or it's like I don't make that impact that I can see and make when I'm my higher potential, when I'm my higher levels of energy. Even at work, even my motivation, the level of the quality of things that I can deliver, it changed massively, because it's really important that you accept yourself and you decide consciously to live a life where whatever you do in the first place is what makes you happy and not others. and understand that what makes you happy will make others happy. And if it doesn't make others happy, well, you have to decide whether you want to be living a life surrounded by people that really loves you and accepts you who you are, or but people is fake with you and it's just liking or accept version that you are meant to be to fit in society. That is why I wanted to reflect in those three things.
Okay. I mean, you were mostly focused on this art of letting go, more concentrated into the present, meaning that I should let go what is basically, how can I say it, what is making my life negative right now.
Yeah.
Now, what if the problem was in the past? And
Yeah, so
and what is the value of the past regarding this concept of the art of letting go?
So I would like to clarify that it's like when I say the art of letting go of things on the present, I don't mean to let it go things from the present. Not that what I meant to say. What I mean is like live a life in the present. It means
Yes.
don't don't bring with yourself those things from the past, basically. And as you can see in the when you continue reading,
Yeah.
it's like, for example, your fears, your limitations, your security, or your doubts. That is not something that it comes from the moment. That is something that has been built up with experiences from when you were a child.
Yes.
So that's why I try to say like there are things that unfortunately we go through in our lives that shapes our reality. And one of the most simple cases is like fire. Like you probably you burned yourself once to know that like fire burns. And how many people has fear to fire today's day? And some others do not care about it at all because it's like what you lead, what you experience will have an impact in your present. So what I'm trying to say is like, if you because you had a bad relationship with let's say you had a partner, you had a bad experience, try not to keep those back with you. Don't bring those bad experiences, those beliefs that have been created in your mind to your present relationship. Try to leave your relationship from the scratch, from something new, giving the trust or giving like the faith that that person is not the same person as you were before with. So therefore, it doesn't mean like even because they do something like the same thing, it has the same meaning. So it's about let go all those thoughts or negative things that you're carrying out from your past experiences and try to live every moment like it was a new moment, like it's the first time ever you're experiencing it. Listen to your body. Your experience is going to something inside of you is going to tell you whether if it's right or if it's wrong. So
Sure.
it's about stop thinking that much. Just live the present.
I have an example that is life example. Let's assume that a person is not really in love of most of his past, and now most of his past is basically changing or better affecting the present.
Yeah.
So this art of letting go is of course becoming complicated. Probably it's more complicated the older you are becoming, because you may affect a lot of decision. So you may have to affect a lot of decision that you made in the past. Do you think that this is making this concept more complicated for people that have a lot of decision, like life decision, already taken?
No, I don't because for me it's like what's the point of thinking about any even decision you're taking in the past if it doesn't serve you right now? The important is not what happened, is what for. And in psychology, you have the psychology that analyze what happened in the past and why did it happen and investigate. but I believe in the psychology that is like what for, and it's the one that helps you to move forward. What it happened in the past, it doesn't matter what it is, how bad or how big it was, it's in the past. It's not going to like not going to push you forward to better things. It's just going to keep you in the same. So what I'm trying to do is like, if you want to have a better and brighter future, like don't look back. Don't even spend as much time looking forward either. Enjoy what's now. Make new decisions. It's what I'm trying to say. Ignore whatever you had in the past, because if you feel it's not serving you, why to continue with that mindset? And what does it matter
Because
if something happened? Because you can change who you were. Like I can turn 50 and I can totally change the person that I've been for 50 years. What's the problem? Who is going to judge me? It's my life and my decisions.
no, it's not.
I
I'm
decide
not.
who I want to
Yeah,
become.
sorry, I'm not speaking about judging. I am more
Oh,
speaking
of
about.
course, yeah.
I'm more speaking about a thing like you know, the obvious example is the work. If you have worked till 50 in a sector, changing
Yeah.
because you have maybe never loved it, it
Yeah.
maybe become a bit complicated. But yes,
I actually know an example that a person that he was very successful in his job. He was working for the government. He was in like the parties. He studied law. He never liked it. And at the age of 55, he realized he always loved art. He wanted to be an actor. And he suddenly, at the age of 55, decided to start like he studied like some courses, and he completely changed his career to be an actor. And he at the end started like doing paintings as well. And he always said that it was the best decision he did
of course.
because he felt happier. So I do understand. I think where you're coming from is from a limiting mindset, and from a limiting where you are the one that is judging yourself. You are the one that has like, oh my God, you're holding to all those years that you worked. But what's the problem? You worked all those years, you achieved all this skill, you achieved all the things that have gave you money to live until today, that have gave you the opportunities, that you met the people that you met because of like the work they've been doing. Great, that was a great episode of your life. That was a great chapter. Start a new one, something more exciting. If at the age of 50 you find out, oh, this doesn't make me happy anymore, like just change it. And personally, I feel like overall, like the new generations, at least in the companies and the business services that I work, you can see how people don't have that mindset anymore of doing the same job for the rest of their lives. People today's days is more open to exploring themselves, to try different things, to travel. Some of them is like, I'm just going to take sabbatic years and go and understand who I am, because we, like the new generation, it doesn't care as much of like, oh, let's be the best at this. We just want to do something that makes us happy. And I think is one of the things that we can just like, it will help someone of 50 years old today's day. It will really help to have more like the new generation mindset, because it will help them to be happier.
Sure. There is also another detail to consider, that if you are not
Yeah.
changing any time, you will probably end up being really depressed. That is another problem. No, but I mean,
No, of
it's
course.
part of the risk. I mean, on one side, it's the risk of changing. On the other side, is the risk of not changing.
I know, but I think in that's why I'm trying to reinforce at the beginning, like the options that you have to have a better life. And that's one of the main reasons why I want to share this content. I would love to invest my time and hopefully one day professionally to help others to understand that you have limitless opportunities in life. You are the one that build up your path, and you are with your decisions that create your life experience. And no one other than you is the one that has the power to make you happy. Another example is that you've been in a marriage for 15 years and suddenly you realize you're not happy with this person. Nothing forces you to be with that relationship. Like you still haven't, imagine maybe other 20, 30 years more to share with someone else that make you happier. And that can make your partner happier as well. Like, do you know if they find someone else? So it's about starting to take more conscious decisions about how do I feel? What do I want? Like, there's nothing bad, there's nothing right. The only right thing is what make you happy.
Sure. And so, why do you think that people are holding on?
I guess because of society, what we've been told from the moment that we were born, like what we've seen in our houses. Um, I would say very just recently, or maybe like last years, society has started changing and like being more risky about the changes they take in life. But as well is because of like, as I mentioned before, the type that our mind works and because we need a safety, you know, and as what we've seen so far is that you get a career, you have this job, you get married, you have your family, you stay for the rest of your life with this person, and the classic things that you have to buy your house, you have to be successful. This is what people know as right, but in reality that can be right for some people and not for so many others. So it's about of like don't go with the society, don't go with what you've seen and be more open-minded to even those things that you've never seen in your life. Like even it sounds crazy, like it could be the new discovery, like the new trend. Like it's about losing those fears or be open to explore new things. Stopping just trying to go with what you've seen before. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm explaining well.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It was quite clear. Okay, so the other part, I'm not totally sure that that was mostly related to something, but it was. Yeah, okay. So you start uh, by saying, if you die tomorrow, would you be content that you lived a fulfilling life? Oh, okay, so I hope not to die tomorrow, but fine.
You need to make people to be in a very dramatic
Yeah,
situation in order for them to realize, like, oh my god, if tomorrow is the last day, what would I do?
We all know that drama is working. Therefore, for all those things that you would change, let go of the shame, the prejudice, let go of your fears, your limitation, your insecurity, your doubts, let go of the control and even that job that doesn't make you happy. And that is what we have already said. So, this part with the capital let go is basically referring to my part 3, that is the comfort zone. And it looks like kind of an easy suggestion. And of course it's valid, meaning that you should let go things that are making you worse. But I would say that there are like people that loves to live in their comfort zone, even at like level that are epic. So I know people that were like living all their life in the most comfort zone ever. So the problem is if they have never tried to exit this comfort zone, why they should try? So I can imagine that the point of view is yes, your words are right because we have tried them, but there could be a bit of like depression that is just because your life is flat and it's because you love to live in the comfort zone.
So I think what you say is just a little bit contradictory. Like, because if you have a depression, but you like to live in your comfort zone, maybe you're
Yes.
not happy in your comfort zone. Well, I'm trying, like, to start with, it's nothing wrong to live in your comfort zone if you're happy, if you feel like that is good enough for you. I think my message is more for these people that is not happy with the lifestyle. They don't feel comfortable where they are. And that is difficult for them to take the step of going outside of that comfort zone because they are lost. They maybe don't know even where to start with. And I'm just trying to share with them, you have the opportunity to achieve a bigger potential. So those people that enjoy their comfort zone, they will never achieve a higher potential. They will never be able to see more and to experience more than what they're doing now because they will always stay on the standard. But if you want to live an extraordinary life, if you want to make memories and you basically want to just be extraordinary and you want to live outside of the ordinary, you have to let go of those things and stop being in that flat life.
Yeah.
Start taking bigger risks.
But I think
I'm
that
not saying I'm not saying that because you take those bigger risks, like happiness is going to come straight away. It's a process because you
sure.
need to learn what makes you happy. What is the life that you want to achieve? And I guess like all these changes and all these life improvements, it will come with a lot of like uncertainty, with a lot of like overcoming yourself, overcoming your adversities, even your personal traumas. Uh, Even probably work on yourself, psychology, maybe to find some support. Let people like leave behind people and things that we have currently in life and that we actually love, but maybe they won't serve for the life that we want to have or the potential they want to achieve. So not everything is right and not everything is perfect. Achieving all these things, it requires a lot of work and you need to want to achieve these things. Otherwise, it's always easier to live in your comfort zone and with your standard life.
Yes, so I think I have some, like, I know some people that are in a different situation, meaning that uh, I honestly cannot tell you if it is laziness, but they
Yeah,
are still like pretending that their life in the comfort zone is good, but they
yeah,
have a lot of problems. So I think maybe we are coming back to the same question that I did before of the strength of moving on. But it may be difficult because the comfort zone is called comfort zone because you feel comfortable inside. But I don't really think that anyone,
yeah,
can really look at himself in a completely flat life and defend a
yeah,
completely flat life. So I think
yeah,
that the problem here is what if I know that I want to change, but I really feel incredibly lazy and incredibly good in not trying to exit my comfort zone. Just think about an example, a person that doesn't want to leave his town. He has always lived in one town and he doesn't want to leave that town. And if maybe a small town, because if it is London, fine. But if it is a small town, there is this kind of problem of on one side, maybe if you are young, you are saying, oh, but I can do a lot of things in the future. But there will be this moment in which you will start thinking, oh, but my life is flat and what can I do? Right now I'm like really settled down here. Even if you don't have a family, even if you don't have anyone, it's like, how do you think they should approach this situation?
Well, to start with, I would say these type of people, they will have a lot of problem first to identify that they should make a change to start with.
Yes.
Because if you're feeling in the way that you mentioned and you described, you won't see the need of making a change. I would say that they wouldn't be, I literally wouldn't know how to tackle these people, because if they are comfortable, what can you do to change their life if they're happy already? Even whatever the reason is, because yes, I know where you're coming from, and it makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they are that way, but they will be happy because it's what they think is happiness, because they haven't seen anything else. They will die happy. I guess like the people, the target for my blog is these people that is having that emptiness, that they are feeling already something is not good, something is, it needs to change because I'm not feeling well. What I'm living at the moment is not good, even if they don't know what it is, even they don't understand what's going on. Is for people that it doesn't feel comfortable with the situation they are. So for anybody that is lazy but they are happy and they don't have the motivation or the aim to make a change, it means that they are not in a situation to make a change because they haven't touched bottom line. They are still fine. They still have a lot of things to go through before they make a change. Like the people that will make a change is the one that, you know, they're in the last and they need to do it. And that was my own case. Yeah, that was my own case. Like I carry on doing things and I was training myself and draining myself. And even sometimes I was like, oh my gosh, can I actually do more? Because it's like, there's not much left. But I needed to put myself in the situation there was nothing left to realize, oh my gosh, I need to change. And I need to change now, because otherwise I don't see it tomorrow. I literally cannot see it. And so that's why I say, like, those people that you're targeting, they will carry on because they won't see the need for the change.
Okay. Do you think you will ever speak in your blog about a way for recognizing that there is something wrong in your life, at least for yourself?
I'm happy to touch the theme at some point. It wasn't on my list of like the next one coming, but yeah, definitely something that if like it could be helpful for people, I definitely be happy to touch on in the future.
So the next question is related to another part. So you are saying clean your life from those people that only consume your good energy and remove the things that don't bring value to you, to make room for everything that is waiting for to enter in your life. Open the doors to the new opportunities and the people that can make each day of your life worth living. Time continues counting down. Every minute and every hour we don't take advantage of is wasted time. Now, this last sentence brings to a huge problem in society that is even bigger for females. The clock ticking. So how should people so there are of course people that are in different kind of crisis for their age. Like it can be a biological crisis, meaning that, oh my god,
that's very normal for everybody to go through.
Yes, or no matter what was in the past, so if they did nothing good, again we are coming back to the discussion we just had, but let's assume we are mostly speaking about clock ticking. So how they should overcome the problem and move on? Meaning that you were saying, so I just focus on the last time. You were saying time continues counting down. Every minute and every hour we don't take advantage of is wasted time. So if you are already... Yes, please.
I think you're like, that is trying to reflect on what I'm saying before about cleaning your life of people. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure about your example. So I'm trying.
But sorry, for explaining the question.
Yeah,
I know that you were referring to like the sentence before, meaning that if you have something bad, you have to think that your time is counting down and
yeah,
you may waste with something that you don't want.
yeah,
Now, considering that the time is ticking, and you may have problem with your past because if you feel that the time is ticking, for example, a girl that feels that the time is ticking biologically, she has probably a problem with her past because she may want to become mother or she may want to do something different. I don't know. How do you think that they can just realize that the time is ticking and they should overcome the problem for focusing on the way in which they want to progress or to change their life, as you were saying before?
yeah. So obviously, I cannot give any solution for biological problems.
Okay. Biological was a subset.
I cannot affect if, like, unfortunately, if you get old, you get old, and if you obviously didn't have the opportunity of having a family, and maybe that's what you wanted. I would say, like, what I would suggest to people is, like, imagine a situation your clock has passed and you are in a situation where you cannot have a family now. It's like, be aware that there are so many other options. You can always adopt, or you can just have a happy life without a child. Like, accept that this has been the situation in which you had to face, and that you can equally be happy without a family. And if it's something that you strongly want, you always have a solution.
Yes, sorry,
For the people that
just for telling you, because yes, I didn't really want you to solve all the problem of ages. It's fine if you can. If you can, we are happy to listen to you. It's mostly for me the problem of having the feeling, like being in the situation that you feel this clock counting, as you were saying. How do you like let it go, as you were saying before? How do you not consider this particular aspect for focusing on improving your life?
Well, in the thing, I'm not sure if it's something you can let go because it's something that is in your present and that it will affect your future. It's not something that is coming from your past. So you really, I don't think it's applicable for the fact of letting go, because it's something that you're living in the moment, and it's a nerd of, like, a demand, or like something that your body is asking you now. So it's like, that's why I was trying to tell you, like, my advice is that what can you do going forward? Because there's nothing that you can let go from the past. It's just something that is happening now.
Yeah, but the moment in which you are living right now and the problem that is relating to your life right now, it's probably coming from your past. So if you have already a past, like you have already spent 50 years of your life doing what you were expecting, probably you will not feel the problem of your clock counting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a kind of problem with the past, if we want, or you think it's not?
In this particular case, I don't understand, like, your point of view. That I would be interested if you want to explain it, like, more if you want, because in my point of view, if you lived the life you wanted until you were 50, you were happy.
Yeah.
Today, that it has nothing to do with your past. Today, you have the need of building a family. You realize physically, biologically, you're not in the conditions you cannot. You have opportunities because you need to look for the future. Like, it's accepting that for 50 years, you made the conscious decision that you didn't want a family. You wanted that life. And for whatever reason, something has clicked inside of you. And if for whatever reason you decided at the age of 50, oh, now I do love to be a mom, just accept that was you in your past deciding those things. And but focus on like, what can I do to solve this problem? Is it actually, can I be a mom now? Can I adopt a kid? What are your options?
Okay.
So in regards to that, it's a biological, so it's very complex, this one. I will be happy for you to provide like your point of view if it's
So, for
different.
example,
But
I
it's
think you have quite replied, even if you didn't really understand the question. But I tell you an example that is like just built up from nothing. But if you were speaking about,
imagination.
yeah. It's I'm basically taking one of the example you were speaking before. Like you had a relationship,
Yeah,
you were thinking about having a family, and then when you are 30, you are pushing for having a family with your partner, and your
yeah,
partner break up. Now you look behind, and there is like your past that you may want to let it go, as you were saying before, but
yeah,
still you are in the present with consequences of things that you didn't really decide in your past, and
yeah,
they are like consequences that are mostly related in this ticking of time.
yeah,
So again, you have to not only let go your relationship, you have also to let go the fact that your relationship has wasted. You have lived it, but wasted
yeah,
a lot of time. So
yeah.
how do you think a situation like that? Don't focus on this in specific, but I can create
But
1 million.
I think it's like in what you are trying to respond to here, we need to see at the specific situation because it's very, very peculiar what you're talking about. So
Okay, okay,
I will have to focus on what the example that you gave. And it's like, I would say you have two ways of saying this. One, if you, obviously, it's about accepting all the time. If you spend this relationship with this partner and you actually were not happy, but you continued with that person, like even knowing you are not happy, that is your responsibility. And you have to let go and understand and indicate inside yourself why you were with that person for that long. Forgive yourself for being obviously
yes,
that long for a person you were not happy and accepting the consequences. And in the other hand, uh, if you were actually happy with this person, from one day to another, he just or she just left you, it's just accepting that life changes all the time. You cannot be responsible or hurt yourself for
okay,
things that you have no control of.
sure.
So it's like depending on the situation. One, you are responsible, you are not happy, and you decided to continue, accept the consequences, look what you did, why you did it, to learn the lesson, what so you don't repeat it now. Try to get like what can you do to resolve your issue in the moment. Can you, for example, try to go back to the market, try to start dating other people? Like, but imagine holding and staying all the time thinking like, oh my god, this person has left me. Now I like 30 years old, I want to be a mom and I don't have anybody. If you just remind yourself with that type of mindset, with those thoughts, with those limitations, with those emotions, you're limiting yourself of saying that what routes or what exits you have to make that desire happen, to make those wishes happen, because you still having options. It doesn't matter if you're 30, if you're 50, you still having options.
Sure.
The only thing is like how you look at life, how you look at things. So if you let go whatever happened and it's like, well, it happened, I accept it, I take my responsibility for what happened, and you let it go, your emotions, and you just focus on your objectives, on what you want to achieve, the life that I want to achieve. That in this case is like, I want to be a mom. Right. From my age, my personal situation, what are my options? What can you do? Do it. That's it.
Okay. Uh, I still think that there is a part at the end in which um, remember that never is too late to make a change. Nothing, literally nothing, is forever, and you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want. Everything that begins ends and will begin again. Therefore, live a life that makes you happy and fills your heart. so that when you are in your last days, again, come on, you feel proud of the acquired experiences, of the shared friendship, of the intimate relationship, of the triumphs achieved. Grab pen and paper and start writing because you are the creator of the story of your life. And then there is a quote, fine, it's a quote.
Yeah.
There is so the last part is basically this kind of optimistic message, and it's bringing me to the question: can you tell us successful stories of those principles applied successfully?
Of like letting go.
Of all the blog, basically all the posts.
So what I'm trying, like, to the end, basically what I'm trying to say of like never is late to change. I think and the fact of like you can reinvent yourself, you are the one that can write the story of your life, is like, I would like to put there's actually a physical example that I think can really help to the post itself, and maybe it can be useful for some people. And there is a psychologist that uses exercise in his sessions with people. And it's like, imagine if you have your two hands, if in your two hands you put all the things that hold you back. Imagine your bad emotions, your thoughts, the beliefs that you have taken through the experience, and like all in your both hands. And then it's like, and now just put your hands in your eyes and cover your eyes.
Yes.
What happens now if you just keep looking at your problems, at your emotions, your thoughts, all the things that you just live through? Like, this is what's driving your life. This is what is taking you in your future. This is what is pushing you to make the decisions that you're making today in life. You cannot really see. So what happens if you decide to let them go and you decide to stop having or to stop driving your life with all these things that are the ones that are holding you back? Then you can actually clearly see, like, you see all the opportunities, all the options, all the different paths that you can take in your life. Because, and you are the one that makes the decisions all the time. It's like you start taking one, no, this doesn't make me happy. Just change, take a different route, a different road that takes you to a new experience, to something different that might make you happy. If it doesn't, just think, well, at least you know something else that won't make you happy, but at least you can try new things. There's nothing right, nothing wrong. But if we just keep like this, we will constantly experience the same things. So when we let go the things that we already know, is when we open ourselves to live new things, to experience different things, to like get to know new people, and potentially and hopefully to achieve that happier self. That is what I'm trying to say in general with the blog.
Yeah, so I was asking successful stories. It's fine, it's fine.
The thing is that I can only talk about my own personal story. I cannot tell you because
Oh
I'm
no,
not a
but
psychologist. I don't
fine,
I don't know.
fine. If it was mostly so before you were like quoting, like explaining the story of this guy that was letting everything for becoming actor. I wanted something like that. That is
Yeah.
fine. You have already provided one. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so for wrapping up, which topic are you going to, of the ones that were in this post, do you think you will go to deepen in the next posts?
So in the next post, I'm going to talk about making decisions and how you can shape your life.
Okay.
And after that one, I'm thinking on taking another one that is how relationship with others can really affect our well-being in a way that like a great connection with someone can really make us stronger when we are facing difficult situations in life, and how maybe not having the right people around us can really take us down as well. So those are the two that are coming next.
Okay, great. Fine. There was one question left, and but I don't remember if we agreed to ask this. So, what can we read in between while you are writing, if there are suggested readings?
Well, actually, I think one book that I found fascinating because mine's like and let me check. I need to check the actor because I always
Oh,
it's Dan.
take your time.
I never remember his surname. Let me see. Dan Seidel. He's a neuropsychologist, neurologist, and he and psychiatrist as well. Sorry, and he explains through his patient experiences about how our past experiences are affecting our today's life. Like, for example, how we have traumas that we even don't remember that we have, or how our relationship with the parents or like at the school have really affected how we relate with others. So mindset, I think it can be very impactful and uh, open-minded for people that maybe is going through difficulties in life, and you can relate yourself with these patient experiences.
Okay.
And also he explains like a process of how you can take conscious decisions and how you can influence to have a better, like to have a well-being, like to achieve well-being in your everyday life with some steps that he provides and tools that he provides in his book. So I strongly recommend that one. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. It's very
Okay.
easy to read. You laugh, you cry. It's actually fantastic.
Have you read it in English or in Spanish?
In English.
Okay, fine. Uh, okay, there is nothing left. There are two people that were like sending a lot of hurt in the chat. One,
Only my family.
both of them.
I think so.
Yeah, one I think is part of your family because of the surname. The other, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, and yes, so we can basically close here, but I would like to ask you another question. What are you reading right now?
So at the moment, I got interested on understanding how psychology started from the beginning. So self-learning about Carl Jung.
Okay.
He was one of the creators of modern psychology, and I'm going through all his investigations and analysis. And he's a creator of like what introvert, extrovert means, the men and symbols. And he actually is a little bit complex, and obviously not everything that he says it can be applicable for the modern psychology, but I find it fascinating just to understand what they use for creating, like, you know, the concepts and a lot of things that we currently work with, you know, to see their cases and how they came up with like, right, this is an introvert person because we have seen X, Y, and Z. So yeah, hopefully it will be very insightful. And maybe I can do more blogs after
Yeah,
finishing
but
studying him.
are you ever like reading something more relaxed? Meaning not related to this topic. What was the
Yes, I
so?
have actually. One of my favorite books is like uh oh, I really don't know the name in
Ah, it
English.
is in Spanish.
I think it's the kidney, or uh, give me a second.
Oh yeah, sure. Take your time. In the meantime, if there is someone like Bible Bill or someone else that want to ask a question.
So one of one of my favorite book, and I definitely recommend it. It calls the Kite Runner.
Kite, you mean the thing
The
that
Kite
you are...
Runner, yeah, that goes in the sky. Let me see. There is Khaled Hos. I don't know the name. This
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce this.
And it's,
Khaled Hassani.
and it's about what? In short.
In short, it's a story about two kids that are going through the war in Pakistan.
Okay,
And
stop. It's enough. It's
yeah,
enough. We don't want to
but
spoil
it's really
anything.
emotional and it's beautiful, and it's about how they grew up, their friendship, like ignoring everything that is going outside. It's really nice.
Okay, did you cry?
Of course I cried.
Of
It was
course!
of
Of
course I
course.
did.
It was a stupid question.
Who doesn't cry with those things? Of course. Our kids, come on.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I don't have any other question, and we can close it here.
That's great. Thank you very much for having me, Andrea.
Thank you as well. And next time we will come here or not.
Yeah, of course. Happy to come next week.
Okay. See you.